Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Syahira.
My name is Daniel.
My name is Aziz.
Today we would like to present our BIS 3013 group assignment on a very unique freshwater fish known as the blind cavefish with the scientific name Styranex mexicanus. This species is well known for its ability to survive in complete darkness and extreme environments such as underground caves. What makes it even more interesting is that this fish exists in two different forms, one that lives on the surface and another that lives inside caves. In this presentation, we will explain what the blind cavefish is, why it is important, its classification, adaptations, habitat and ecological role. First, let us understand what the blind cavefish actually is. The blind cavefish is a freshwater teleost fish that is native to the limestone cave system of northeastern Mexico. These caves are completely dark, have limited food resources and very stable environmental conditions. What is fascinating about Astyanax mexicanus is that it exists in two forms within the same species. The surface-dwelling form lives in rivers and streams and has normal eyes and body pigmentation and relies on vision. On the other hand, the cave-dwelling form has evolved to live permanently in darkness, resulting in the loss of eyes and body pigmentation. Despite these differences, both forms belong to the same species, which makes blind cavefish a perfect example for studying evolutionary change caused by environmental pressure. Later in the presentation, we will compare these two forms in more detail to highlight how environmental conditions influence physical and physiological traits.
Now, let us discuss why the blind catfish is an important species, especially in scientific research. The blind catfish is widely used as a natural model organism for studying evolutionary divergence. Because the surface and cave form share a common ancestor, scientists can observe how specific traits change when organisms adapt to different environments. One of the most studied features of this species is eye degeneration. By studying blind catfish, researchers can understand how and why certain traits disappear over generation when they are no longer useful. In addition to evolutionary biology, blind catfish is also important in developmental genetics. Scientists study the genes responsible for eye development, pigmentation, and metabolism using this species. Furthermore, this, fi- this fish is also used in ecological studies, particularly to understand how organisms survive in nutrient-poor and isolated ecosystems such as caves. Next, let us move on to the taxonomic classification of the blind catfish. The blind catfish belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Actinopterygii, order Carassiform, family Caracida, genus Asianat, species Asianat mexicanus. This classification places the blind catfish among rare finfish, which is the largest group of fishes in the world. Understanding its classification helps scientists study its evolutionary relationship with other freshwater fish species.
Next, we will focus on adaptation, habitat, and ecological role of the blind catfish. In terms of morphological adaptation, the most obvious change is the loss of eyes. In completely dark cave environment, vision is not useful, so over many generations, the eyes gradually degenerate. Another major change is the loss of pigmentation, causing the fish to appear pale or pinkish. This happens because pigmentation is no longer needed for camouflage or protection from sunlight. From physiological perspective, blind cavefish have developed highly sensitive non-visual senses. These include enhanced smell, taste, and an advanced lateral line system that detects water vibration. Additionally, Blind cavefish have a lower metabolic rate, which allows them to survive in environments where food is scarce. They are also known to have altered circadian rhythm because caves do not have day-night cycle. In terms of habitat, blind cavefish live in a limestone cave and underground rivers. These environments are characterized by total darkness, limited food availability, stable temperature, and low oxygen level. Despite these harsh conditions, blind cavefish are able to survive and reproduce successfully due to the adaptation. Ecologically, blind cavefish function as secondary consumer. They feed on small invertebrate and organic matter, helping to recycle nutrients within the cave ecosystem. They also play an important role as a key research species, contributing significantly to our understanding of evolution and adaptation.
Now that we have explained the adaptation and habitat of the blind catfish, let us move on to a more interesting part of this presentation, which is some fun and surprising fact about this unique species. One of the most interesting facts about the blind catfish is that it is not born blind. When blind catfish embryos first develop, they actually begin to form eyes just like normal fish. However, as they grow, the eyes slowly degenerate and are eventually absorbed into the body. This happens because eyes are not useful in complete darkness and maintaining them would waste energy. Another fun fact is that blind catfish are actually related to surface fish that can see. The surface dwelling and cave dwelling form belong to the same species and can even interbreed with each other. This makes the blind catfish a very rare and valuable species for scientists because it allows direct comparison between sighted and blind form.
Interestingly, blind cavefish are known to be very good at finding food even without eyes. They use their highly sensitive lateral line system to detect vibration in the water. This allows them to sense the movement of prey, such as small insects of invertebrates, even in a total darkness. Another surprising fact is the blind catfish are more active than a surface fish because food is very limited in cage. Blind catfish tend to swim more frequently to increase their chance of finding foods. In contrast, surface fish rely more on vision and may wait for food to appear. Blind catfish are also known for having a different sleeping pattern. Since cave do not have a day and night cycle, blind cavefish do not follow a normal circadian rhythm like most animals. Studies have shown that they sleep much less than surface fish, which help them stay alert and active in an environment where food is scarce.
An unusual fact is that blind cavefish are often described as stress resistant. They can survive long periods without food and in low oxygen conditions. This makes them extremely resilient compared to many other fish species. Another interesting point is that blind cavefish are used in medical and genetic research. Scientists study them to understand human conditions such as eye degeneration, sleep disorders, and metabolic diseases. This is because some of the genetic pathways involved are similar between fish and humans. Blind catfish are also known to show unique social behavior. Unlike many fish that rely on vision to interact, blind catfish use physical contact and water movement to sense other individuals. This allows them to communicate and avoid obstacles without seeing. Finally, one of the most fascinating fun facts that is that blind catfish are considered a living example of evolution in action. Because surface and cave populations still exist today, scientists can observe evolutionary changes that happen relatively recently rather than relying on only on fossils. All these fun facts show that although the blind cavefish may appear simple or unusual, it is actually one of the most fascinating species studied in modern biology. In conclusion, the blind cavefish is an excellent example of how organisms adapt to extreme environment. Its unique characteristics make it extremely valuable for research in evolution, genetics, and ecology. Overall, Astyanax mexicanus is not only biologically fascinating but also scientifically important. Thank you for your attention. That is all from us.